Okay, welcome to today's vlog. I'm going to let Mick do most of the intro, and you might wonder, why are we staring at an open door, or a closed door, I should say. And here's why. I have a lot of rooms in this house. I have my little beauty room, which also has books in it, and my purse is in it. And that's my little place. There's a couch in there, a desk and place with makeup. And I have that. I also have what was the master bedroom in the house, and that's my sewing room and scrapbook room. And that's all full up with my stuff, and then the closet's full of books. Downstairs in the basement, I have another sewing corner where I do my sewing. And so eventually I thought it would be nice if Mick had a space for himself. So I got him a nice couch and little table and stuff, and paid for a projector in his room and made him, he's got his own little room now. So we're going to go visit him in his little man cave.
Well, hi, neighbor. Come on in. This is my man cave. I have a lot of photos and stuff on the wall. As you can tell, I'm a real big Wisconsin homer. Bucks, Brewers, Packers, you name it, I got it. Yeah, so this is my little retreat, my one little nook in the house that I have. So
yeah, we used to have a projector, and that's why in a second you'll see the screen. But now we have a big TV in here because projector doesn't work anymore. So we had a big screen painted, but now we got a huge TV there. And then he's got his little Mick's man cave sign, and then a bat, black bat. Is that?
That's signed by Paul Molitor, and then I have a Robin Yount signed bat up there. Those were my two favorite Brewers growing up, way back in the 70s.
Yeah, so this is his little place, and people wanted to know what he collected and stuff he liked. So this is gonna be about Mick. See the little pillows I made over there?
Aren't they pretty? She made me a Badger pillow and a Brewer pillow. So when that occasionally nap time comes up, and they are used very well for nap time.
Yeah, and then a Packer blanket behind you.
Yep,
Afghan.
absolutely. So I guess we're going to start with Clark, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
He's going to open the advent calendar today.
All right. And what day are we on?
Day 14.
Day 14. All righty. Now I can see how well she struggled, because I'll be struggling as well. Uh-oh.
Is it empty?
Aww. I got day 14.
Oh, no.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, my gosh. That stinks.
Wait. Is this... Maybe this is actually something?
Oh. Yeah, it could be. What's it look like?
I don't know. Are they maybe snowballs?
Oh.
I really don't know.
Maybe they're snowballs. Let's go with their snowballs.
If anybody else knows, please leave a
comment. Let us know, because you guys have known what my calendar things were way before I did.
They don't say anything. They're just little round white stickers. You know, I don't really remember snowballs being a big part of Christmas Vacation, but I've been wrong before. So that's what we have from the Christmas Vacation.
Little white stickers.
Correct. Okay, the things that I collect. When I was a wee lad, way back in the early 70s, I collected baseball cards. Anytime I got any type of money, this was back when a pack was a quarter. And you got your cards and your stick of gum. You know, the stick of gum that tasted so good for like 35 seconds. And then you just kept adding as you opened packs. So if you bought, you know, a couple of dollars worth of packs, you probably had 8. And by the time you're done opening them and sorting them and looking through you got a huge chaw full of bubble gum in your mouth, because you've probably eaten all 8 pieces. I have a lot of cards. I just have some of my more noteworthy cards into this binder here. Overall, I probably would say at one point I probably had between 16 and 20,000 cards. What's interesting is 1 year ago today, we had a water mishap in our house. And unfortunately, I had a large segment of my baseball card collection in this amazing wooden box that a friend of my parents made. His name is Tom Shunk. And this held thousands of cards, and it was perfect, and it was huge. It was like a gigantic briefcase. And unfortunately, that wooden briefcase full of baseball cards was in the basement. And last year when we had a water issue and our basement flooded, I lost several thousand cards. Everybody says, well, what did insurance cover? Well, unfortunately with insurance, all they cover when it comes to collectibles is a value up to $2,000, and that's it. So I lost out on the deal pretty significantly. I think more of a loss to me was the sentimentality of it all. Just all those cards that had been handled multiple times over the years in my youth. Unfortunately, everybody knows once water is introduced to cardboard, you are pretty much FUBAR. The mold grew quickly. We tried to air them out, and in the end, just the entire, large wooden suitcase, briefcase, card holder, end up having to be tossed out, unfortunately. So that depleted my collection a little bit. Yeah. And like I said, I think the sentimentality of it all was the thing that hurt the most. Some of those cards were some of the earlier cards that I had from the early 70s. I was born in 68, so I think I started collecting. My dad would give me some, but I remember probably 72, 73 were the first years that I remember going to the store with my quarter and getting my pack of cards. So unfortunately, a lot of those are gone. But I do have a pretty substantial amount of my collection left. But yeah, that was a rough one, the 1 year anniversary today. Around the same time, probably a little later in my youth, I started collecting coins, and it was basically everything, looking at pennies, at nickels, dimes, quarters, not really so much into halves. And typically what I would do was I would get a book like this, and I would, look for my change. I'd go through my dad's change, my mom's change, anytime I got change, and kind of look through and see if I could, need anything. Obviously I'd swap it out with my parents if I found something that I needed out of theirs. Then that kind of went away over time, and I would say probably over the last 10 years, would you say, hon? That we've kind of gotten back into it?
Yeah, I would say 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, we've really gotten back into it. We bought books that were current.
That tell you what. Oh, you mean books
like these,
like those,
yeah.
And ones that tell you what like coins are worth, or
sure,
yeah,
sure.
Okay.
Typically we just do it for the enjoyment, the thrill of finding, filling in your holes on your books. That's always enjoyable. We don't collect to say, oh, we have this huge amount. We collect because we enjoy the process and the hunt. Finding what nickels, what dimes, what quarters, what pennies we need to fill up our books, and kind of go from there. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the video that we do. We go through a box of quarters every week. Typically it takes us about an hour, and it's fun. We have a good time doing it. We take some aside, we look for certain ones, and in the end, it's just a good time spent together, and it's something we both enjoy. Typically, every once in a while, we'll get a box of pennies or a box of dimes or something else, and just kind of go through them as well. For the most part, except for probably maybe this year and some of last year, we're really current on our books in relation to pennies for each year, nickels, dimes, quarters, things of that nature. of the current, and probably back through, probably the late 60s, maybe even mid 60s, somewhere in there. So kind of what we're still looking for, obviously, is, newer things that continue to come out, as well as older pieces. One of the stories that I always share with friends of mine and James, I used to be a paper boy, and had a huge route, and it was, it was back when papers were delivered and stuff like that. And one time a lady, older lady, and she, back then it was $3.25 for 2 weeks of the paper. So you'd go to collect, back when you had to collect, and you stop at the houses and you interact with the people. And one of the ladies, she paid her bill, it was $3.25, and then she goes, "Here, I have something for you. I have a tip." I said, "Okay." And she gave me a tip, and I had coin in my other hand, and she put the coin in there, and it sounded different. And anybody who knows that's ever had silver given to them knows exactly what silver sounds like. And I was so excited, I was thinking, "Oh, we got a quarter tip, big deal." Well, this was in the mid 80s. It was a big deal, and it was silver. So I thought that was really cool. And she did that a couple other times, and it was just a really neat type of thing that we had with her. And so that was kind of, just a flashback silver story that we had. More recently, something that I've started to collect it's just a little more of an adult thing, but it's a little pricier, and it's something that I talked about, I think, last year. But I currently collect watches. Now, it's not as significant as James' handbag or SLG collection, but it's significant to me. And I have a lot of watches. I typically try and wear a different watch each day. Mine never correlate with my outfit, so I never do put that on Instagram. So
Sometimes they do.
Yeah, sometimes, very rarely, if she picks out my outfit.
No.
But typically, I like wearing them all just because you want to show the love for each watch. I don't really have huge favorites. I'll kind of get into ones that are, kind of the flavor of the week, that are like, well, I haven't worn that in a while, and then I may wear it for a couple days in a row or something like that. I have spots up top here for a dozen watches, and then I have a few more down here below. So the collection is ever expanding. I think I usually put one or two every year on my Christmas list that I find. I've slowed down a little bit. I think my taste has changed a little bit. We got this one for me this past year. Last year. This was for our anniversary Tag Heuer watch. Really, really like that one a ton. And I like that one so much that I thought, what's one tag without having another one? So I really thought the color of the dial on that one was really nice. Really sharp, and we went to the Tag Heuer shop. Where was that in?
Charlotte.
In Charlotte, and it was quite the experience. It was like luxury buying for a dude.
Definitely exactly like that, because it costs as much as a lot of my bags do.
Yeah,
if not more.
That was one of those where you're, holy cow, that was expensive, but boy, is that a nice looking watch. So.
Show your top 5 favorites.
My top 5 favorites. Obviously, I think I just showed 2 of them, both of my tags. I think that these are both, this is probably 1, this is 2. This one will always be sentimental to me just because it's the anniversary watch. So I think those are my top 2 right there. I think then the rest, probably not necessarily in order. Like I said, currently, I think if you ask me later on, might be different, but I really like this Movado. I think that one's really a sharp looking watch, and I've been wearing that one a lot more lately. So that one's definitely in the top 5. Then probably this one, my Citizen. Jane bought me that one about 3 years ago. We were in Miller Clock, and she said, "Pick out a watch," and I was like, wow, okay. So that was awesome. And then last but not least, in my top 5, like I said, it's kind of the flavor of the month. This one is a it's a Vincero, but it's, you know, it's like one of my least expensive watches. It's probably a couple $100, but lately I've just been really liking the sleek look of it, the black. It kind of looks really dressy. So that's kind of been the, whenever we go out on date night, that's been kind of the go-to watch for me recently. So I would have to say that those are my top 5 currently. Yeah. So I think that that's all I have for collection-wise. I thank you all for watching. And as James always says, please do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.